Maximal strength is the foundation of physical qualities in rugby. Your speed, power, conditioning, injury resistance, all of it builds on top of strength. But a lot of rugby players are either not moving well enough or don't lift heavy enough, or they're following random gym sessions with absolutely no structure and then just wondering why nothing changes. Well, today I'm breaking down the exact system that is going to build your rugby strength properly. If you want to improve every physical quality in rugby, your speed, power, conditioning, you need to start here. Force wins collisions. The stronger player dictates what happens in a tackle, in a ruck, in a maul. It is as simple as that. Obviously, technique and skill plays a pretty big part in that as well. Strength can help with that by enhancing your skill execution and your movement quality, so the two factors go hand in hand for dominating the contact area. But strength doesn't just help you in the contact, you can accelerate faster. A massive factor in off the mark speed is how much force you can produce. Strength also sets the ceiling for your power output. Power is force multiplied by velocity, and you can't develop high amounts of power without a strength foundation underneath it. Then there's injury prevention. Stronger tissue handles more load before it starts to break down. Research consistently shows that strength training reduces injury rates in contact sports. So, to play for longer durations, to play all the way throughout a season, you really do need to be strong enough. And one factor that does get overlooked, body composition. Strength training builds lean muscle and it burns calories during and after sessions. Combined with good nutrition and lifestyle, it is one of the best tools for getting leaner and more efficient on the pitch. Everything in your rugby game improves when you're stronger, which means it's not optional. It is the foundation you have to set for your rugby training. Players on the Ben Bealey Performance Programme are consistently hitting personal bests and feeling more impactful on the pitch. Whether you're just getting started with rugby S&C training or you're an experienced player that's pushing your own limits, you can join my program and you can get stronger. The link's below. Stop chasing those fancy exercises that you're seeing all over the place at the moment. These movements will build rugby strength more than any wacky exercise on the internet. Simple movement patterns. Master these and you'll be stronger than 90% of players that you're going to come up against. And before you start thinking that this looks way too simple, well, look at what professional rugby teams are actually posting in their gym content right now. So much of the footage out there is back squats, barbell bench press, chin-ups, RDLs, even on machines now. It's the basics. No doubt they are loaded precisely for each individual, for the aims of that particular session, and done consistently with proper technique. They're not using wobble board variations with a load of chains and crazy attachments everywhere. It's not whatever the latest fitness trend is on social media. The best players in the world, with access to the best coaches, the best facilities, are still building their strength around the same fundamental movements that have existed forever. That tells you what you need to be doing as well. The reason that these movements have survived every trend and every era of sports science is really, really simple. They work. Push strength. Horizontal and vertical. This covers everything you need upper body wise from a fend to a line out lift. Pull strength. Again, horizontal and vertical. Holding opponents in tackles. The jackal position. Grappling and wrestling when you're in the contact area. Squat and hinge patterns are building that lower body force production that drives your acceleration ability when you're in a scrum, the leg drive through the contact area. Single leg and single arm work. This addresses the reality that rugby is almost never symmetrical. You sprint, you step, you kick, all using one leg at a time. And your core, both bracing and dynamic, this is what holds all of the above together. Done with good movement quality, loaded progressively, at the right volume, at the right intensity, these movements are exactly what you need. Not all the extra fancy shit, simple movements done at correct intensities. Make sure you nail these before you add anything else. Most rugby players out there are lifting weights in some capacity, but very few are actually training properly for strength. Here's the essential list that you need. Understanding what to do is one thing. Understanding how to program it is where results are really going to come from. Intensity. For maximal strength, you need to be working at heavy intensities in the 1 to 6 rep range for every set. If you can comfortably do more than 6 reps when you're aiming to get stronger, the weight is too light. You're in the realm of assistance and endurance, not maximal strength. Volume. 3 to 6 sets of 1 to 6 reps per exercise. The lower rep range and heavy weight is for neuromuscular reasons, neuromuscular adaptation. You're training your nervous system to recruit more motor units, and that happens best with heavy loads, not loads and loads of reps. Rest. You need 2 or more minutes between sets of heavy strength training. The energy systems that you're using that are powering this heavy lifting, it does take a few minutes to recover. If you rush your rest, then you're reducing the weight that you can lift, which again reduces the strength stimulus that you need. You're also going to be more fatigued and you're going to move with less quality. And less quality reps potentially leads to injury and just less gains over time. I usually recommend just taking as much rest as you need when lifting heavy. Everyone is different. Just try not to sit and doom scroll for 10 minutes or so whilst you're resting. Training should be focused and it should be intentional. Technique. Control is absolutely key. Heavy lifting is definitely not a good idea if you're not doing it with quality movement. Slow down the lowering phase of each lift, 2 to 3 seconds down. Lift with intent on the concentric phase on the way up. Even if the bar moves slowly, it's the intent that matters. That intent to move fast is what is recruiting those motor units and helping you get more forceful. You can add pauses at the end ranges of motion, such as the bottom of a squat or the middle of a pull on a deadlift, to build strength in those positions. You can rest for a few seconds in between reps so that you gather your breath back and ensure that the next rep is going to be done well. The general rule of thumb here when aiming for heavy strength is movement quality first, load second. Progressive overload. This is the non-negotiable. If you're not adding load through heavier weights, more sets, more reps, longer durations, higher velocities, all of that stuff, over time, then you're probably not going to be getting much stronger. I can't tell you how many players I've heard that are going to the gym and then they just stick the same weight on the bar and they blast out the same 5x5 session and they call it a day. It's not getting you anywhere. You need to track your lifts every time you do them and you need to progressively overload them. A really, really simple and easy way to overload your strength is to add 2 to 5 kilograms every single week to your key lifts. It's really, really simple, but it works. There are many other methods that you can use to progressively overload for strength gains, plus other factors like deload weeks that you need to consider, but I'm not going to do that in this video. It's a bit too detailed. Make sure that you check out the next video in the series that goes into more detail on specific strength training methods, how to get strong for your position, and also how to program it throughout a rugby season. And remember to check out the links in the description for more rugby strength tips and programming. I'll see you soon.